ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. We are discussing the temperament and behavior of a jnani who has Atmajnanam in the verses 13 to 21 in chapter 5. And we are on verse number 19. Let us, we saw that a little bit, but let us chant that and look at that in a little more detail. Let us see that. इहैव तैर्जितः सर्गः इहैव तैर्जितः सर्गः येषां साम्ये स्थितं मनः येषां साम्ये स्थितं मनः निर्दोषं हि समं ब्रह्म निर्दोषं हि समं ब्रह्म तस्माद् ब्रह्मणि ते स्थिताः तस्माद् ब्रह्मणि ते स्थिताः. We saw the meaning, but just to refresh the mind a little bit. Iha. Iha means here, right here. Ihaiva, here only. Taihi, by them. Jitaha, has been won. Won means what? Conquered. Sargaha, the cycle of birth and death. Samsara. Samsara has a synonym, it's called sarga. Okay, from srij to create. So that's the thing. So sarga. And then taihi means by them. By whom? By whom? This was already talked about here. By the samadarshinaha, by the panditaha, by the samadarshinaha. Who are the panditaha? Who are the pandits? Who have self-knowledge, who have equanimity, and who are beyond the pairs of opposites that also we saw earlier. Nirdvandvo hi mahabaho sukham bandhat pramuchyate. We saw that earlier. So here they are away from the pairs of opposites, Brahmana versus Chandala. They don't have that kind of hang up. Chandala means dog eater. And so they don't have that kind of hang up at all. And as we have seen, as I have told you, the story of the Manisha Panchakam. And in the Manisha Panchakam, the Chandala, the dog eater there, happens to be a guru, happens to be the one described in Ihaivataihi Jitas Sargaha in this verse, in verse number 19. So we better be careful to whom we are talking and how we are talking, because we never know. We never know who we might find who might be Ajnani. And because you see, there is a certain look for the professor, there is a certain look for the doctor, there is a certain way of dressing and look for the person who is, upper middle class and all this. But it is very difficult to decide who is a jnani from the dress or outer accoutrements and outer characteristics alone. So therefore, Adi Shankara apparently had one such small shock. He was coming out of the baths from the ghats in Kashi, Varanasi, and there he was his path was barred by one Chandala, And then what did he say? He said, he said, he didn't say, the people surrounding him apparently said, Gacha, gacha, go, 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 go. And all the shishyas. The shishyas sometimes have a lot of zeal. The shishyas want to make sure that the way for the guru is clear. And the Shishya out of bhakti must have said, because we can't imagine Adi Shankara who writes this kind of bhashya and all kinds of works would have said this. So the Shishya must have said, hey, gacha gacha, go, go, go. Don't you see such a wonderful jnani is coming? Gacha. And the Chandala gave everyone a surprise. What was what was the surprise? And then the Chandala said, Annamayad Annamayam. Kim va Chaitanyat Chaitanyam. Kim duri kartum vanchati tvam. So, so what are you trying to distance? You say, Gacha, Gacha, go away from me. All right. So, but what is it that you are trying to put a distance between? Are you trying to put a distance between one lump of flesh and bones that is called Chandala and another lump of flesh and bones that is called Sannyasi, namely yourself? Are you trying to put a distance between that? Annamayat Annamayam Kimva or Chaitanyat Chaitanyam? Or are you trying to put a distance between Chaitanya, consciousness, and consciousness? Bodies, how many are there? Okay, we can say there are many, many, many bodies, no problem. But what is this body? It's a lump of the products of 5 elements clumped together. Funny looking lumps we all are, and then clumped together. You are trying to send one Annamaya away from another Annamaya. Okay, so this Annamaya called Chandala has eaten a dog, had a dog for breakfast, and then what? And you, being a sannyasi, this body of the sannyasi had what shall we say? Roots, fruits, and berries for breakfast. What's the difference? It is still a product of 5 elements. And this is also a product of 5 elements. So how can you distance one 5 element product from another when both being the same? Or worse still, are you trying to distance one consciousness from another consciousness? Even saying that we feel like laughing, because how many consciousnesses are there? Only one when we last checked. Two consciousnesses, three consciousnesses can never be there. Consciousness is one and non-dual. That is our bread and butter. That is because consciousness is one and non-dual, I can study Vedanta. Otherwise, what is there to study? Nothing. And so therefore he says, what is it that you are trying to do? And then he gives an example. He gives an example of a using the Pratibimbavada. He gives a beautiful example. He says, look, here is a pool of water, fresh river water over which the sun is shining, and the sun, or a fresh nice pond over which the sun is shining. And how is the sun shining? Very clearly. And then what? The sun is also shining in my neighborhood. Where do I live? In the slums, and it is called the worst part of the town. I live in the slums in the worst part of the town. There is some ditch water, nala. Nala means some drain is flowing, and in that drain also the sun is shining. When the sun shines in the lake, in the clear lake, does it become brighter? He asks. When the sun shines in the turbid ditch water, the drain water, does the sun become dirty and then has to take bath? He asks. And what does Adi Shankara do? Purportedly, Adi Shankara falls at his feet and he says, Chandalostu, Dvijostu, Sa Guruhu, Iti Esha Manisha mama. This is my understanding now. This is my wisdom now. What is the wisdom? Whether the body may be that of a Chandala or that of a Dvija, Brahmana. What is that? Both are, that person is a guru. This is my wisdom. One meaning. Or that word mama, this is my wisdom. That word my can go with guru. Such a person is my guru. This is the wisdom. Either way it can be taken. And so we saw that is called such a person is called Pandita and Samadarshinaha. And then this naturally goes to the next understanding. What is that understanding? How does this practice happen? How do they happen to be Samadarshinaha we saw, but how do they do this? And what is the benefit of this? The benefit of this is given in 519. So let us see. Ihaivataihi, while living, they have conquered samsara. Death is not conquering of samsara, only jnanam is the conquering of samsara. Because they are panditas and they have atma jnanam, then for that reason alone they have conquered samsara. No other reason they have conquered samsara. Because yesham, for whom samye sthitam manah, whose minds, whose antahkaranas, whose egos, etc. are firmly established in that which is called samya, oneness. Why? Because the name of Brahman, the another name of Brahman is called Samam. Samam Brahma. What is this Brahman that we call Samam? Free from opposites, good, bad, dharma, adharma, punya, papa. What else? So many things, Karya, akarya, what should be done, what should not be done. All this, Atma, Anatma, even that difference is not there. Because Anatma being Mithya, Anatma is non-separate from Atma. Atma is not Anatma, that's all. And so the people who know this, they are firmly established in Brahman. Brahmani te sthitaha tasmat. Because of this, they are firmly established in Brahman. Nirdosham and Samam. Flawless and infallible. Nirdosha here means infallible. Infallible. And this is the result of the knowledge, infallible. And so this cuts through the notion that liberation is not possible while living, a notion that is held by many philosophers, especially philosophers of Dvaita. So here there is abheda drishti while living. Samadrishti is abheda drishti of the jnani. Abheda means no difference. Because the vision has changed, then what? The person no longer thinks of himself or herself as one among the many waves in the ocean. If you think that you are one of the waves in the ocean, then what? Another wave waves to you and immediately one feels jealous. Why? Oh my God, that's a much bigger wave. And I don't like that big wave. I'm not going to wave back. I'm just going to keep quiet because I don't like that it is big. This is what it is. And one wave says, and the wave samsara is very, very interesting. So the wave samsara is like what? One wave says to the other wave, you know that third wave is useless and just trots around looking important but doesn't do anything at all. In fact, we are doing all the work of carrying the ocean to the shore and back. This wave is just in one place hanging. So they gossip about the third wave. And then what? Another wave is frightened. Oh my God, I used to be a tsunami. I used to be a surf. I used to be a breaker. These are all kinds of waves. But now I'm a small little mortal wave. I'm somehow surviving. I will die. Another wave has a sob story, sad sob story. And then yet another wave says, okay, I have some disease. That means what? I'm going to die. And then I have to take leave of husband wave, wife wave, child wave, grandchild wave, all these things. I have to take leave of my body because this body is the product of these two parents who gave birth to me. All these things. And so then what? So the wave has a miserable life and an even miserable death. But here, Samadarshana is not possible. Samye manaha, sthapanam is not possible. It's not possible to establish the mind in a certain sthirata. Not possible. Without what? Knowing the nature of the ocean as oneself. The wave has to know that I am the ocean. I am the ocean, I'm no longer a wave. That is why I'm using the example of the wave, because that wave which has waved goodbye to the notion that I am a small, discrete little being in this huge thing called ocean, and we are all little bits and pieces and parts of the ocean. No. Ocean is impartite, cannot be made into parts. And as long as as long as the wave has a human mind, thinks itself to be mortal, thinks itself to love a few people and hate a few others, thinks itself to be afraid of death, it will suffer. It will definitely suffer. It will just suffer so badly that there is no possibility for it to have any liberation. But supposing the wave goes to a guru wave, all the waves are sad, and one small wave is there from the Indian Ocean. Okay, that is important. The guru wave is from the Indian Ocean, happily lapping back and forth from the shore. And so this wave has some punya due, some punya is coming, so trots over to the guru wave and says, how come you are so cheerful? How come you are so cheerful? Tell me the secret. And the guru wave says, how come you are in the doldrums? What's wrong with you? No, I want to know why you are so cheerful. Says, there is no reason to be sad. Oh, but don't you see, you are smaller than me. You are just going towards the shore. Plus, there is sun above. It is evaporating all your waters. You are getting slimmer and slimmer, older and older. And soon you will be gone. And the guru wave says, I will not be gone. I will still exist as water vapor. Oh, but then the water vapor will also be gone. No, then it will become a cloud. And then what? Then you will be gone. No, then I will come down as rain. No, then you will be gone. The rain will be wasted. No, the rain will come back to fill up the ocean. And then so that means what? I will never be gone. Only some transformations, the upadhi, my upadhi called wave, will undergo. Only some transformations. Even in the course of one life, there are 6 transformations from birth to death, including old age, disease, illness, infirmity, etc. All of those are transformations belonging to what? Wave. Not to me, the ocean. I have seen, because my guru taught me, the wave says that I am not a wave. I have waved goodbye to this upadhi. To the notion that I am a wave, I have waved goodbye, and I have embraced the notion that I am nothing but the ocean. That is what I am. And this is done through a systematic study, says the guru wave. My guru told me, my guru asked me, what is the truth of you? I said, water. What is the truth of the ocean? Water. Therefore what? You are nothing but the ocean. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I'm nothing but the ocean. And here I thought I was a mere wave. This is so wonderful. I am the ocean. And therefore I have, I have this knowledge. I have a new name. My guru gave me a new name. What did the guru name you? Samudrananda. My name is Oceanananda. Samudra means ocean. I am no longer a sad, miserable wave with a small name, small upadhi, and huge problems. I am not like that. And listening to this, the other wave who had come for instruction said, "Please tell me more. This is fascinating. This is wonderful." And so here, like this, that other wave also got self-knowledge. And here in this verse also, so yesham samye sthitam manaha samavastu. And samye, what is this sama? This sama we describe in two ways. We describe as, away from the, what did I tell earlier, pair of opposites. Away from the pair of opposites, away from all kinds of limiting notions, wrong notions, limiting notions, fully away. This is what I think. I used to think of myself. Now I understand I am none of those things. What am I? Ocean. I'm not part of the ocean. I'm not a piece of the ocean. I'm not the bit of the ocean. I'm the entire ocean. And the equation is always, in this example, between wave and ocean, not between wave and water. Because when the wave recognizes it is water, the sadness doesn't go away. Okay, before I thought I was wave, now I am wet. That's all I know. Water means wet. So before I was wet with my own tears, now I am wetness itself. This doesn't do anything. Because the finite upadhi, the one who is identifying with the finite upadhi has to be made to identify with the infinite upadhi. How? Strangely enough, by removing the upadhis. As though, cognitively. And so therefore, the equation is between the wave and the ocean, between Jiva and Ishvara, not between Jiva and consciousness. Jiva is consciousness is the first step to understanding this equation. But we can't stop there. That is just Vedanta 201. And then after that we need to continue with the course. And then we have to see how it is unfolded, how it is explained, etc. We have to see. And so it is not the wave and the water. What is it? Wave and ocean. So therefore, what is this ocean? In the example, we can say it is samam. Samam means it does not have a sense of elation when a few rivers join it. Neither does it have a sense of dejection when a few rivers decide to depart. It is the same. Samam. So Brahman here, as you can take it as in three ways. Atma, Ishvara, Chaitanya, all are the same. Because here we are talking of someone who has understood oneself as that. So oneself means Atma, which is what? The nature of Ishvara, which is what? Nothing but consciousness. All three are one and the same. So we can take it any which way you want. So this is what Samam Brahma. Samam means just like the ocean. Brahman doesn't go up and down. Ishvara doesn't go up and down. There is no reason to go up and down. Why? Apuryamanam achala pratishtham samudram apah pravishanti yadvat tadvat kamaha pravishanti sarve sashanti mapnoti nakamakami. A very important text. A quotation from what? Tattva Bodha. I know you know better. Okay. Mundaka. No. Then what else is left? Bhagavad Gita, because it's obviously not Vishnu Sahasranama. So Bhagavad Gita. Yes. Which chapter? Chapter 2. Chapter 2, towards the end, you see. Last few verses, you will find this. We saw this. Full like the ocean, the person of knowledge is. Achala pratishtham. This samyam here, yesham samye sthitam brahma. This samyam, this samam, this is achala pratishtham, whose identity doesn't go up and down, because one's identity is no longer dependent upon the world. It is self-dependent. It is swatantra. So this way one has weaned oneself off of world dependence, world validation, and therefore one is free of that. One is totally free of that. And so therefore what? So therefore here this has to be properly understood. Yesham samye sthitam manah. For whom the mind is the vision. Manaha here, mind you can take it as even vision, whose vision is firmly established in Brahman, like even the ocean is full, established in fullness. And so what kind of Brahman is it? What is this Atma? What is this Ishvara? It is that which is infallible is Ishvara. Nirdosham, infallible, free of fallacies, free of faults, free of limitations. And samam means advayam, advayam Brahma, non-dual Brahma. Tasmat, therefore, and Brahman being like this, therefore they are established in Brahman completely. They are totally established in Brahman. They don't swerve. So continuing, let us see. Let us share the text here. Yeah. Na prakhrishyet priyam prapya. Na prakhrishyet priyam prapya. No dvijet prapya cha priyam. No dvijet prapya cha priyam. Let's do the first line again. Na prakhrishyet priyam prapya. Na prakhrishyet priyam prapya. No dvijet prapya cha priyam. No dvijet prapya cha priyam. Sthira buddhira sammudhaha. Sthira buddhira sammudhaha. Brahmavid brahmani sthitaha. Sthira buddhira sammudhaha. Sthira buddhira sammudhaha. Brahmavid brahmani sthitaha. Brahmavid brahmani sthitaha. Na prakhrishyet. So the benefits of this further describing, does not rejoice, is not in ecstasy when gaining something which is pleasant, which is their favorite. When pleasant situations are gained, the person does not rejoice. Na udvijet. Udvijet means does not get agitated. Udvijet means udvija means agitation, affliction. Does not get afflicted when prapyacha apriyam. When the unpleasant is gained, the person doesn't get destabilized. Why? Yesham samye sthitam manaha, we have seen. They are firmly established in that oneness. So therefore, they are destabilized by the unpleasant situations, and they are not completely taken away, carried away by pleasant situations. Who are they? Sthira buddhihi. Sthira buddhihi means the person has equanimity. The buddhi is well managed. And then who are they? Asammudha. Asammudha means the one who is never, ever, ever again, having gained this knowledge, ever going to be deluded. Sthira buddhihi asammudha. And who is this? Brahmavit, the knower of Brahman. And the same thing is repeated. Brahmani sthitaha. Brahmavit Brahmani sthitaha. Very, very nice verse. Of course, all of these are nice and all of these are important. You should just mark all of them from 13th to 21st. Very, very pertinent and extremely important. Okay, and so sthira buddhihi asammudha brahmani brahmavit brahmani sthitaha. So here, this is something which is very nice to see. In the Chandogya Upanishad, in the 8th chapter, there is a wonderful mantra. Ashariram vavasantam na priya priye sprishataha. Beautiful mantra. Ashariram vavasantam. Ashariram santam na priya priye. Priya and apriya. Na priya priye sprishataha. Sprishataha means touch. Priya and apriya, that which is, what is that called? Priya, pleasant and unpleasant, do not touch. Do not touch who? The one who is without a body. Do we need the Chandogya to tell us this? Do we need the Chandogya to say that for a dead person there is no priya priya, because ashariram means what? Either dead person or a bhuta, preta means a disembodied being. So there, of course, if the means of enjoying something is the body, if the body is the means for enjoying something or suffering from something, then when there is no body, no suffering, no head, no headache, no back pain. And so should we take it like this? Then that would be a total waste of time if we took it like this. Na priya priye sprishataha ashariram vavasantam. The one, not the one who doesn't have a body. Shariram na vidyate yasya ashariram. That is the literal translation. Shariram ashariram vavasantam. So who is ashariraha? Shariraha na vidyate yasya. The one who is devoid of a body. This is just a dead person who is disembodied. That's the only meaning we can take. Either a dead body, the body itself, or a disembodied being, like a Brahma Rakshasa hanging out on a tree or something like that. So ashariram bhavasantam na priya priye sprishataha. So here it's not that. So ashariraha means the one who does not identify as the body. This is what is meant in the Kathopanishad mantra. Ashariram sharireshu anavastheshu vasthitam mahantam vibhumatmanam matva dhiro na shochati. Matva jnatva. Knowing this, and what this is will be soon told. Knowing this, the dhira does not grieve. Dhira means the wise person does not grieve. And what does the person know? Ashariram sharireshu. I am the Atma, I am Ishvara, and what is this Ishvara? The one that obtains in many bodies. But by myself, if you say, which body is my body? No body is my body. No body is mine. Nobody is mine and no body is mine either. Both ways we can take. Nobody is mine, no body is mine. Why? Because I am that consciousness that prevails in everybody, everybody, everybody. And so, since I am that which is without limitation, I am there in all bodies, as it were. I don't have a particular body to call my own. No body is my body. Ashariram sharireshu. Anavastheshu avasthitam. That which is anavastha means that which doesn't have a being. This is the one that gives it the being. That which is the being of everything without itself having any being to talk about any particular form, name, etc. And what is this? Mahantah, that which is Mahan. Mahan means that which is great, sacred, limitless. Mahan, Mahantam, second case. Vibhu, Vibhu we already saw. Yesterday we saw the description of Vibhu, Prabhu, etc. Vibhu is a name for the Lord. Vividham Bhavati is manifest in many, many ways. Mahantam Vibhum Atmanam, this Atma is called Vibhu. The Matva, Jnatva, having known, Dhiraha na shochati. So this is the reason why the 20th verse says na prahrishyet priyam prapya na udvijet prapya cha apriyam prapya na udvijet. Why? Sthira buddhihi, and the person is what? Asammudha means never ever going to be deluded. Never ever going to be deluded. Not only is the person not only is the person not deluded now, never ever going to be deluded. This is a very, very beautiful verse. Sthira buddhihi asammudha. Why? Brahma vetru tattvat. Because the person knows Brahman. Because the person knows Brahman, never ever deluded. Then further, if we see this verse, very beautiful. There are some hidden meanings. Beautiful, very nicely this thing. So, na prakrishyet priyam prapya na udvijet prapya cha apriyam. So, the first topic here, and what is the first topic? Having samatvam. Having equanimity in the place of when one is confronted by opposites, pleasant and unpleasant situations. So having equanimity in the face of pleasant and unpleasant situation is the first thing that we understand. First thing that we understand is how to be the same in both pleasant and unpleasant situation. This is the prasada of what? This is the prasada of ragadvesha management. This is the prasada of ragadvesha management. In other words, what is the yoga that teaches ragadvesha management? Karma yoga. This is the prasada of karma yoga. Na prahrishyet priyam prapya. And because what did we see as the definition of karma yoga? Samatvam yoga uchyate. This is the prasada of karma yoga. The first line we can say is the prasada of karma yoga. And then we have na prahrishyet priyam prapya no dvijet sthira buddhihi. Sthira buddhi. So this is the prasada of karma yoga. We should also say buttressed by shravanam. Shravanam means what? Shravanam means studying intensely with a teacher, listening to Vedanta. Not once a year. Some people just come once a year on Guru Purnima, they listen to Vedanta, and until next July, nothing happens. So no, this is a committed, dedicated pursuit. I stand under the waterfall of the Upanishad and the Bhagavad Gita and let myself be completely soaked. This is the idea. Let myself be completely soaked in the knowledge. This is the idea. Then what happens? What do I do after that? After that, this is called Shravana. Then the knowledge is there, but it is not sthira. It is riddled with what is that called? Doubts. It is riddled with errors. It is riddled with all kinds of problems. Vagueness is there, doubt is there, errors are there. And so, what to do now? I have to get rid of the doubts so that the buddhi has sthairya. Sthairya buddhi means the buddhi is unwavering because the doubts are gone, the doubts are dispensed with. How are the doubts removed? Doubts are removed during Tuesday, Thursday question answer sessions. Because even if you didn't ask the question, and when Swamiji answers the question, then you didn't even know, but you also got an answer. Your doubt, which you didn't even know was there, is gone. Similarly, the Shastra also raises and answers doubts in the Bhashya, in the traditional way. Then so that is and then that is one way of removing doubts. Another way of removing doubts is to discuss with everybody else who has also studied, who's also studying together, and then they just to see, maybe one person can shed light on your doubt and you can shed light on the other person's doubt. Like this, you get some from sahapathis. And then what? Then the third way to remove the doubt is to take a shower. Take a shower, why? Because the hot water on the head, stimulates the brain cells, and sometimes the answer comes on its own. Yes, oh my God, I see this now. And then when the answer comes, it looks so new. It looks very, very, very new. But then when you go look at your notes, it is not new at all. It was already discussed, it was already explained. There is nothing to discover new. But when that old thing is discovered again, it is ever new, because the Atma is ever fresh, ever new, never old. It is just beautiful, amazing. So these are the ways of removing the doubts. And then when you remove the doubts, what happens is that there is a lightness. So the sthira buddhi is gained through mananam, because sometimes shravanam is not enough. Because if the knowledge is riddled with doubts, errors, etc., then we need mananam. Otherwise, because mananam does not produce the knowledge, mananam simply removes the doubt. Only shravanam makes you know, makes you a jnani. Shravanam can make you a jnani, mananam can make you a doubt-free jnani. And then what about asammudha? Asammudha means never coming back. And for that, there is a third step which is called nididhyasana. Shravana Manana Nididhyasana, we say. So Nididhyasana means what? Getting rid of Viparita Buddhi. What is this Viparita Buddhi? I know I am Brahman, but I am not behaving like Brahman. I'm not behaving like Brahman at all. I know I'm Brahman, but how am I behaving? Unlike Brahman. Unlike Brahman, I am behaving. So that means that I am not Brahman at all. And if I were Brahman, I would have known this, but I am not Brahman. And then therefore what? So therefore there is the understanding. And what is the therefore there is the understanding? The understanding is what? That I have to now be very, very alert in my life. That alertness is required in making the knowledge free of any kind of habitual orientations. Habitual orientation means old habits. Like, supposing if you rewired the house, electricity, and so because you had some problem or you added something else, and so before, when you entered the house with the key, the light switch panel was on the left, and then now it is on the right. The first few days, what will you do? You will just you will just enter the house, and you will in the dark, and let's say, and you will just keep patting the wall. "Well, what happened to the switch? It used to be right here." And then you say, "Oh, foolish me, it is actually this side." Then you remember. Is it lack of knowledge? No. You yourself gave the electrician money, and you yourself decided it with the person, and you yourself rewired the house. It's not lack of knowledge. It's not that you don't know. You know, but old habits prevail. Similarly, you know you are Brahman, but old habits prevail. What are the old habits? I still get angry. I still get upset. I still feel like I'm being invalidated. All this has to be resolved through keep repeatedly seeing the meaning of the Shruti. Seeing the meaning of the Shruti as the truth of oneself. Asango hi ayam purushaha. I am Asanga. I am Purnaha. Another meditation. So by this Nididhyasana, the Viparita Bhavana is taken away. Is taken away, and so where does the person live? The person is neither depressed, nor the person is upset, nor the person is ecstatic at all. Devoid of the excesses in the emotions. The person is one with Brahman, because such a person is called the knower of Brahman. One more thing. What is that? The in everybody's life, whether one is a jnani or an ajnani, three factors govern everyone's life. What are they? Desha, space, kala, time, and then the third one is what? Karma. Desha, kala, karma. Karma means prarabdha karma. So the prarabdha karma governs one's life. You don't know when you're going to fall sick. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know when you're going to feel well. You don't know when you will have a stroke of good luck. You don't know any of those things. And then what? Then there is Desha. Desha means what? This is a force, whether I like it or not. There are people around me, and I have no control over who they are. I don't know where, I have no control over where I'm living. Sometimes I have to live in a certain place because of the job or the people or something like that. I can't escape Desha. Even if I escape one Desha and go to another Desha, there also same problems will be there, can be there. And so then the second thing is, which I cannot escape, is time. Time keeps going. Kalo Jagat Bhakshakaha. The time is the eater of the universe. It eats up the universe, puts it into Laya. And so therefore what? So this time keeps on going. And then so this is what it is. And then you see how the ravages of time on the body we see. All the things that I didn't even know were there in the body start talking. The joints make noise, and click, click, tuck, tuck, everything. And then what? The back makes a noise, and the head makes a noise. All kinds of noises come. And then hair, hair, if it is still there, changes color. And then what? It becomes thin. And then the skin has wrinkles. And then, this is what is called kala. Then the third factor is karma. Karma here is prarabdha karma. That's the only karma we can, see it unfold. And so that's the only karma we can discuss here, because we are seeing it as it unfolds in the body and in one's life. So prarabdha karma means what? If we take the desha kala, like let's take kala, if we take that, let's say there are two people of the same age. living in the same family perhaps, and living in the same city. Still, one of them looks 100 years old and the other one looks 60, which is their real age. And so, therefore, what explains the difference? The other one cannot get up, cannot sit down, cannot do this, cannot do that. And the other, the sibling of this one is agile, going to yoga classes and having a good time, eating whatever they want, drinking whatever they want. What accounts for the difference? It's not that the mother fed one properly and neglected the other one. No, they had the same upbringing. They lived in the same city. You can't even say maybe this city has some toxic minerals and water and toxic exposure to certain minerals. No, that is also not possible. Both are living in the same city, both are drinking the same water. Or maybe one person's life has too much tension. That is possible. But let's say in this case, both of them have same amounts of stress, same amounts or more or less, same stressors, same factors that cause stress. So then what accounts for the difference? Prarabdha. No other explanation. When all other explanations are exhausted, Prarabdha says, that's me. So then these ups and downs happen even in a jnani's life. Even in a jnani's life, there are ups and downs. One day, wonderful bhiksha, another day, no bhiksha. In fact, nobody to come and receive either. This happened to Pujya Swamiji in the early days when he was going from place to place. His guru, Swami Chinmayananda ji, one time sent Pujya Swamiji to some place, small place in Tamil Nadu, and Swamiji went by train. And then when he got out of the train, hot, very hot. It was during the heat of the summer. And it was the satsang was supposed to be in one rich person's house, and then they had called and organized. And then in those days only letter writing, and through the letter the intimation had been given that Swamiji is coming by such and such a train which is arriving at such and such a time. And then what? Nothing happened. Nobody came to receive him. Fortunately, Swamiji had the address, and then what? Went to their house. And they were surprised. They were totally surprised because they had just forgotten. It's not that they had forgotten they were coming. They got the letter also, but they read the letter also. But somehow in their mind there was a mix-up, and they hadn't up. The mind had not updated itself. Just like all the apps on the phone and the computer have to be constantly updated, the mind also has to be updated with new information. And here, no new information could be updated. They did not update the mind. And so the whole family was busy playing a game of cards when Swamiji went. And of course, they felt very upset, very guilty, and they were all just completely flabbergasted. But then what? But poor Swamiji had to stand in the sun for 4 hours, find out how to go to their house, find out if he had enough money to take a rickshaw or anything. He did not. And to find out whether a bus goes. And before the bus stand, he had to walk to the bus stand and then catch the bus and then get down from the bus and walk from the bus stand. And so 5 hours later, Swamiji arrives and the whole family is playing cards. Imagine their consternation. Imagine how terrible they must have felt. But anyhow, this is the Jnani also has different, ups and downs may come in the life. But Swamiji was very cheerful. Swamiji was very cheerful, and he just sat there and talked to them, and then they quickly invited all the neighbors who were going to come the next day or something like that, but there was a change in the program and something like this. And so they were all very willing to come, and the satsang took place. So Swamiji, of course, being Pujya Swamiji, was able to make the best of the situation. So like this, some days no food, no lunch, and no bhiksha, wandering around in the heat. And then another day's nice bhiksha, wonderful place to stay, lovely things to eat. And here, when the things are wonderful, lovely, great, grand, the jnani does not get elated. One doesn't get elated, and when you don't get elated, you don't get disappointed either. The fear that, oh my God, I'm going to lose this is what causes an addiction, and that addiction is not at all permitted. That addiction is not permitted, and so therefore the jnani is brahmani sthitah. That is, there is no room for this addiction. Because of the force of the knowledge, there is no room for this addiction at all. And then this is the idea. So in the next verse there will be a conclusion of this whole section from the 13th to the 21st, and then we will see what all we have learnt from this section before we go further. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ. Thank you.